when you get to talk with a recruiter, tell them that CHINAZA SAMSON. Just tell them that I referred you to them, and you would get something. You would get about 1,000. No, you get about a total of 2,500. Me and you, that will be splitted. Now, this is how it's going to work. So when you come in, once your I-140 has been approved, you get $150, and I also get $150 as well, which is taxed. And when you come into the United States and you spend the first 6 months with them, then you get $1,100. I also get $1,100. That is making it $2,500 referral bonus. Okay. Now this is about 6,240 hours contract, and you would have to work for them for all that hours. Now for these people now, which is what I'm under, my overtime counted, my orientation counts as well. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is CHINAZA, and if this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. All right, today we're going to talk about something that everybody has been asking me, and you want to stay to the end of this video to find out the answer of that question. And what is that question? That question is, what agency are you using? Which agency did you go to? What agency are you under? I'm going to be answering that question today. So I'm going to be answering that question today, and I'm going to not just answer that question. I'm going to be telling you 5 direct hire agencies and 5 staffing nursing agencies as well. So without further ado, let's dive in. First off, let's start with, why do you need an agency? So for you to come to the United States as a registered nurse, you need an employer to file for you. Now, there are so many ways you can go about it. You can even apply by yourself without the use of any of these agencies by searching on LinkedIn and searching on Indeed. Look for international trained nurses with visa sponsorship. You could find some of these hospitals, but I tell you this for free. It is very rare because almost all hospitals have this service of, using an agency to staff their hospital for them. So either directly or by staffing. So what is direct and what is staffing? So direct agencies, they are like a middleman. They connect you, they sort you out, check if you're qualified, get all your qualifications, and then they contract you out to, not contract rather, they give you to the hospital. Now you are the hospital staff, not the agency staff. So the person who contracted you to the hospital is that agency. So they're like a middleman between you and your husband. So between you and your husband, the hospital. So basically, they're like a middleman. They stand between you and the hospital, agreement. They are not on your side. They're not on the hospital side. They're on their own side. So you have to know how to negotiate for yourself. And now, because you are a direct staff of the hospital, they tend to pay more than a staffing, because now agency is not by cutting you anyway, and any sign-on bonus that the hospital gives to new hires, they could give that to you as well. Okay, so, and these people, they could give it to you in form of they call it maybe housing or relocation allowance or relocation bonuses and all that stuff, but it's usually like the sign-on bonus that there is to it. That is what direct hire is. And now staffing agency is basically you work for them, not the hospital. You work for them, and then you are contracted to the hospital. You are now giving as a loaner. Well, you're not giving, they give footballers as a loaner to another club, and then they stay with them for like 1 year or 2 years, and then they come back. That is what you are in staffing agency. So staffing agency will basically, you work for them, and then they put you under their clients, and their clients is the hospital. they place you there, you work for those clients for 3 years, and you are done with your contract with the hospital. With the agency, I mean to say. Now let's go down into examples of these agencies. Okay. Now with direct hire, number one on the list is Connectix USA. Alrighty. So Connectix USA is under the AMN healthcare affiliation. So basically they are like what I said, the middleman. They contract you to them. Their contract is also 3 years. You do 3 years, and depending on the hospitals, your overtime counts towards your contracted hours. Now you also have to make sure you ask these questions to verify this information that your overtime counts. But it's usually a 3 years contract. Some hospitals are 2 years, but there are barely any hospitals that are 2 years. Most of them, which is like an average, is 3 years contract. Okay? So with Connectix USA, now you have a person that is assigned to you to help you with, making sure your documentation are correct, your processes are correct. What I want to say, and this cuts across all agencies, direct and staffing, is that your experience with an agency, it largely depends on the contact person that you have. So whoever is your contact person can either make or mar your experience. So there are people with Connectix USA that have amazing experiences, while there are some people with them that just have the worst and the awful experience, most awful experience that you can ever imagine. Okay, so think about that. So the second one on the list is Infinity Health Partners. These ones are also a direct hire as well, and as well as a staffing. So you want to make sure that you're like, oh, I want direct hire. I want to be directly hired by the hospital. You want to make sure that that's clear, and you put that out there that I want direct hire. Okay, but there are also a direct hire company. Number 3 is going to be PRS Global. Now I don't know people as much that have used them, but I've heard some people use them. A lot of people who use them most times are like the Filipinos. I've heard most of them use them as well. But as for Nigerians, it's just a handful of people I have seen that have used them. Number 4 is going to be Green Staff Medicals. Now this one, they are also a direct hire, but you have to pay for a lot of things yourself, which is very common with direct hire. You would have to pay your visa screen by yourself. You would have to pay like all the things that staffing agents would maybe want to like cover for you. You do it yourself. Okay, you pay it for yourself. So you want to like check out that contract well before you sign it. Make sure you're signing the right thing, and make sure you're getting all the benefits that you need to get. My sister used to be with them, but she left them and joined my own people, which you're going to find out at the end of this video. Alrighty. And then number 5, Worldwide Health Staff Solution. That's WWHS. So these ones are also direct hire. They directly place you to hospitals. Like I've seen some of their adverts, hospitals like John Hopkins, and they will give you, like I said, the relocation bonuses, the sign-on bonuses that you need. But they are direct hire as well. Okay, now this is what we need to understand about direct hire, because it's a 3-way thing. It is not a one way you and your employer communicate, but rather you talk to this person to talk to that person has to talk to this person to talk to you. Because it's like that, it can delay. It can have like a little bit of delay, but delay in the US process is not new to anybody. You can either be in staffing or direct hire and still be delayed. But when I mean delays that are not like ordinary, like the other ones now, the extra delays now can be caused by all those 3-way communications. And then you also want to make sure that you know what is your contract. I'm not going to stress this. Make sure you know what is your contract. Make sure you know what you're benefiting from them as a direct hire, if you're getting your entire sign-on bonuses, because some people give up to $7,500 depending on your years of experience. So you want to make sure that you're getting all that money and none is going to them, because believe you me, when you move here, you're going to need every money that you can lay your hands on. Okay. Now let's jump over to staffing. With staffing, we're going to be starting with one of the OGs, one of the like people that have been longest in the game. They're not like the longest, but they've been in the game for a while, and that is Avant Health. So for Avant Health, they are a staffing agency. Sometime in 2016, 2017, Avant was in Lagos to hire nurses. Yeah, that we were in that process. So some people who I know personally were in that meeting and we are hired from there. One thing you should know about staffing agency is that they start your so most of them start your process all the way from CGFNS CS. So you don't necessarily have to join them after you write NCLEX. But now the problem is that with the new administration, unfortunately, many of these agencies are kind of like backing away from Nigeria to start from the beginning. But they can, if you have your NCLEX and your IELTS and you come to them, they're going to take you. That's why I encourage people to, have their NCLEX and their IELTS. Okay, watch out for this video. I'm going to be doing a more detailed and more latest update video on the step-by-step on how to come to the US as a registered nurse. Keep an eye out. Okay, so Avant is also a 3-year contract. I want to say a 3.5 years contract, but let's just say 3 years contract. So with Avant, what they do for you is that when you come into the United States, you're all going to go to Florida first for a 6 weeks clinical training. So they're going to like integrate you into the US nursing world, how it's like, their documentation. This is not your hospital orientation, no. This is Avant, their own orientation for you, so that when you go there, you are well equipped and well prepared. Now, when you go to your hospital, they're also going to run an orientation for you as well. But that kind of like help you, you have a ground to stand on, you know what you're expecting, when you go there, you're not like shy or anything like that. Do you understand? So they have a good program, but it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's hard, but these are their requirements. You must have at least 2 years nursing experience in a tertiary hospital that is above 100 beds. They are going to verify if the hospital has 100 beds. So if you're working in a government hospital, either state or federal, do well to apply if you have this, because you already have it. State and federal hospitals are already above 100 beds, so you're good to go. Okay. And then now you want to like make sure you have NCLEX and IELTS and all that stuff. So, and they do also do education. I mean, all agencies does this. They give you education to do like health streams, APIs, things like that. Okay. Now, number 2 on the staffing agency list is going to be OGP staffing. OGP has been in this business for over 40 years, and they are also under the AMN healthcare. So OGP is the only staffing agency that I know that gives 2 years contract. Yeah, they give 2 years contract to their nurses, and it's actually very easy as well. But sometimes, like, one of the reasons I didn't apply to OGP personally was because when I was doing my research, I was watching a YouTube video. There was this particular lady, I stumbled upon her page, and she was with OGP, and she had a very terrible, nasty experience. And this was almost during the height of COVID, and she had a very bad experience with them. And I'm like, I don't want to go through all this, I don't want to go through that as well. So I didn't apply. But I have people who have applied with them right now, who I know that are using them and they're happy with them. Okay. Now, the third one is going to be Westway Staffing. Westway Staffing last year had an issue where they would bring people in, but they didn't have a job. But I think that issue has been resolved. Now everybody who is with them has a job. They are working. My friend is working. Even when I went for my interview in 2022, I met some Westway staffing candidates, and we were all there together. So Westway is also a good staffing agency as well. I think they also give about 2 years, 2 to 3 years actually is their contract. I stand to be corrected, but I know 2 to 3 years is their contract as well. Alrighty. Now, number 4 is going to be Shearwaters. So Shearwaters staffing agency. Why personally I'm not going to recommend them as much because of how I came in. I came in with a diploma in nursing, which is I went to a school of nursing. I didn't go to a university. But for Shearwaters, I didn't bother applying because you have to have a BSN to apply. You must have a BSN to apply, or you are almost graduating from your BSN program to be able to apply to Shearwaters. So I didn't apply to that, but it's also a good one as well. Their pay not so great, but they are coming up. Okay. Now the last one is going to be drum roll, please. The last one, which obviously is my agency, is Passport USA. Now, this is what I'm going to stress on because it is my agency and I just love them a lot. We've had our issues, but we're fine. We're like husband and wife, but we're good now. So don't come in between us. So, Passport USA. Now, Passport USA also used to take people from Nigeria from scratch. But the problem now is that because of the new verification rule, Passport USA now only takes NCLEX and IELTS passes. So if you've passed the NCLEX, even if you've not passed the IELTS, they will take you though. But I mean, I went in with my NCLEX and my IELTS, so I want everybody to do the same. So if you have your NCLEX and your IELTS, it's good to come in with them. I joined Passport. I first called Passport when I was in the process of coming to the United States, and Passport said, "Oh, this was post-COVID, so they were like, oh, they're not taking people from Nigeria. So this time, due to the ban that was on Nigeria then, but if I write my NCLEX and my IELTS, once I write my NCLEX and my IELTS, I could reach out back to them. So I passed my NCLEX and my IELTS, and I reached out back to Passport, and within that same day, I spoke with them today, and they gave me a contract that same day. It was easy peasy. So with Passport, we've had a good time. Passport is literally going to hold your hands from the beginning till you're done with your contract. So once you sign the contract, you're immediately going to be assigned to what is known as an IPA, which is an International Program Associate. Now, this person is going to guide you with document collection, everything you need to do until your I-140 is filed. Once your I-140 is filed and approved, then they hand you over to the next person, which is known as an IDA, International Deployment Agent or Associate. Now, this particular person is not going to be with you until you get your visa and you've landed in the United States. Okay, so the moment you land in the United States, now they ship you off to the next person who is going to be with you throughout your contract, and that person is going to be what is known as an International Employee Supervisor, IES. So you're going to be with this person now till you're done. So if you have any questions, any queries, anything at all, you can reach out to them. Now, like I said initially in this video, your experience with any of these agencies that I mentioned is based off on the person who you are assigned to. So the person can either make your experience amazing or make it terrible. Why do I say this? When I started, my IPA, beautiful lady, I loved her, very quick. You send her an email today, very quick to respond. Per Passport USA policy, your IDA, IPA, IAS should respond to you within 48 business hours. Okay? Now, my IPA didn't care about that. She was just answering me any time of the day. I have questions, any email, I know for sure I'm going to get a response by the next day. Okay? At most, by the next day. Now, my IDA, on the other hand, it's 48 hours. So you can send a message on Monday, expect a reply on Wednesday. Send a message on Wednesday, expect a reply on Friday. Send a message on Friday, expect a reply by Tuesday or Wednesday. It has to be 48 business hours for her. And I didn't like that because it kind of like made me feel a lot of tension. But now my IES is, I am blessed. She is just an amazing person as well. She send her a message middle of the night. She's answering you, but please don't do that. She's sleeping, but she's always there. Basically, that's what I'm trying to emphasize on. She's always there, always there, to answer calls, answer texts, answer messages. Superb. Okay, now contract is for 3 years, and it's an all hours contract. So now there's two types of contracts with passport. If they did everything for you from all the way from CGFNS, CES, everything, single thing for you, it's also a 3-year contract, but it is not an all hours contract. You must work for them for 3 years, and your orientation doesn't count, your overtime doesn't count. 3 years is 3 years. You have to give that to them. Okay, now recently they are trying to change that so that everybody's on an all hours contract regardless, but I'm not sure that is in full effect yet. So you might want to ask that question when you eventually get an interview in with them. Okay, then the second contract they have is what is known as an all hours contract. Now this is about 6,240 hours contract, and you would have to work for them for all that hours. Now for these people now, which is what I'm under, my overtime counted, my orientation counts as well. So it doesn't matter how long my orientation is, it's also counted as part of the contracted hours. Okay, so now when I say these things don't count, doesn't mean you won't get paid. You will get paid, just that it's not counting towards your contract. So, but for me, all of them is counting towards that contract. So like I said, if you haven't watched my video where I spoke about the questions you should ask your agencies before you sign that contract, go and watch that video. It's very important. It has every questions you need to ask. Okay, so yeah, there you have it. My agency is Passport USA. A lot of you have mentioned that you want to use my agency. If you want to use my agency, there's something in for me and there's something in for you as well. So I'm going to put in the referral link down in the description. Use that link to apply, and when you get to talk with a recruiter, tell them that CHINAZA SAMSON just tell them that I referred you to them, and you would get something. You would get about 1,000. You get about a total of 2,500. Me and you, that will be splitted. Now this is how it's going to work. So when you come in, once your I-140 has been approved, you get $150, and I also get $150 as well, which is taxed. And when you come into the United States with Passport USA and you spend the first 6 months with them, then you get $1,100. I also get $1,100. That is making it $2,500 referral bonus. Okay, so it's all there. I'm not gonna hide anything from you, but if you want to let them know, you can let them know I referred you to them. I referred you to them, so let them know. Alrighty, so thank you for watching this video. I deeply appreciate you for watching it. Thank you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.